Hello everyone, Russ of Aquariumex here. We are now taking a peek at the multis, the Neolamprologus multifasciatus shell dweller colony here. The most recent clutch of fry is here. I don't know if you can see. I think it's a pretty small clutch. I've only ever seen one at a time. But I wanted to actually feed these guys some live baby brine shrimp while we've got them on the camera. I thought that would be kind of fun. I've got a few hundred brine shrimp here. Here we go. They go nuts over this stuff, of course. And it's magical. It's one of the best foods you can give lots of different kinds of small fish from fry to adult. So here they come sinking down. You can see the little cloud of them coming down. Hopefully you can see that anyway. And let's see how the fish react. Here they go. I'm going to switch over to chat so I can see everybody chatting. Excuse me. You can see how they love these baby brine shrimp. I've been giving them brine shrimp for almost a week now since I got my new brine shrimp hatchery, and I'm really excited about it. It's the easiest type of brine shrimp hatchery I've ever used, and I'm going to do a video on it, kind of a video review. So they are all eating baby brine shrimp right now. They're going nuts. You can see them picking them out of the water. So let's take a look. So Zercool Ninja is in the house. Connor Kennedy. Alex Madison, excellent. Glad you're able to join in. Pocosaurus, great. And Wally of Supreme Gecko, excellent. Yep. I'm going to kind of zoom in here and see if you can actually see them picking those brine shrimp out of the water. I can see it on the screen. Can you see the little baby brine shrimp? Let's see. Oh, you can see the little fry in the middle of the screen doing his thing, or her thing, grabbing the brine shrimp. So, yeah. And I'm actually thinking of buying a few more multis for genetic diversity. As you can see here, you see this fry? It's got some spinal deformities. That's pretty sad. There's another fry over here, same deal. Spinal deformities. Oh man, lost the light. That's so sad. Okay, well, I'm going to move over to something else. The timer just went off, so just a second. I'm actually going to move over here to the velvet ants. But anyway, let's see if we can catch a glimpse of the velvet ants running around. Those of you who saw my community page know that I now have 2 velvet ants. I originally got 3, but 2 of them passed away shortly after they arrived. I think they were perfectly healthy when they got here, but something happened. I'm not sure what went on. I can see, I see one of them in the background there, but I just captured one. I was on a little hike during the weekend and was able to catch another one. Let's see if she shows up. She's quite a bit smaller than the one you can see in the video right now. As you can see, I've been using my ant feeders to give them honey water, and the one in the front's got honey water in it, as you can see, and then on the left there's a test tube that also has honey water, just to make sure everybody gets what they need. Seems to be working, although the honey water is sometimes leaking out of the bottle on the front, the feeder on the front, so I'm a little worried about that. We'll see what we can arrange there. So VB23, have you ever tried aquarium co-op fry food? Not yet. I have tried some things from aquarium co-op. I use their Easy Green fertilizer, and I like that a lot. And I also recently bought one of their coarse coarse pre-filter sponges for small tanks, and it's working great in my daughter's 5.5 gallon. She wants to put some shrimp in there, some Neocardiidina shrimp, so that's working. You know, right now you can't really see the ant. It's hiding out in the corner. I don't know if you can see where it is, but anyway, just a minute ago they were both running around, so one of them's probably hiding. Let's check out somebody else so you guys can have something more interesting to watch as we're chatting. That's a very loud motorcycle there. Alright, so I'll pull back the chat. That pet page, evening. Heather Jensen, hey Russ, I made my first ecosphere today. I've already seen some small snails I didn't initially see while scooping. It's kind of fun to see what shows up in those things, isn't it? And that pets page, you now keep isopods due to my channel. That is awesome. I love that. Whenever I hear I've helped convert somebody to isopods, it makes me smile. We're going to take out this Vinegaroon and take a peek at him. It's been a while since we've seen him on the channel. Or probably her on the channel. I think it's a female, actually. Oh, I thought you were going to stay on the bark, and you decided not to stay on the bark. Okay, that's cool. That is totally up to you. Let me modify the lighting a little bit here. Get a better shot of what's going on. There you go. There's one of my Vinegaroons. I'm going to open up the container of the other one. I don't think the other one's hungry. There's a cricket in here. The other one's not eating, so I'm going to toss it in here and see if this one eats, because it's a really good eater. Pull out the cork bark for now, so you can get a good view of that. See if that works. Try to focus in on there. And, okay, let's pull this up. And that pet page, I am in the state of Utah. All right, Breaker says, hey Russ, do you have a video on how to make a good beetle jelly? I can't find any to buy near me. I do. If you do a search for do-it-yourself beetle jelly or do-it-yourself DIY bug jelly or beetle jelly, I think. I can't remember which one I did it under, but one of those in Aquarimax, it will come up. And I like that recipe a lot. I use it to feed my beetles, and I've given it to some of my other creatures too. I give it to velvet ants and various things. So yeah, that's a good one to try. Oh, the cricket's gonna get out. I need to pay attention, don't I? I'm not sure this one's hungry either, but we'll see. Her water dish is full of dirt, but yeah. The only thing you have to watch for is when you let it cool. Oh, I think we might get some hunting going on here. Let's see. I'm having trouble focusing it, but hopefully you can see what's going on. Oh, I think we're going to get a strike here. Look at it using those antenniform legs. We just might get a strike. So that pet page, what's your favorite animal in your collection? I honestly don't have a favorite because they're so fun. They're all so fun. It's just hard. Whichever one I'm working with, I guess, is my favorite at the moment. It's just too hard to pick. There are some that are more fun to handle than others and things like that, I guess. And thanks, Jay's Crazy Obsession. I would love a like spike. We got a few likes already. Thank you for that. Connor Kennedy on the isopod topic. Based on previous videos, it looks like supplement with morning wood and bugberry. Have you noticed either of them being more successful in the long term since last video? No. I think they're both good foods so far. I have not done a systematic test to compare the two, but I like them both. I don't think I would have one that I necessarily prefer over the other at this point. Okay, so Wally, I just made you a mod so you can post that link if you'd like to. So that would be, yeah, go ahead and post that if you'd like. That should allow you to post links now, now that you're a moderator, if you don't mind being one. And JC, welcome. Glad you're here. And Connor said, if you could only have one, what would it be? One pet. Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, I think it would be something that I could handle, something long-lived. I don't know. It might be this snake here. I love handling snakes, and this snake has been so fun. I've had him since October, beginning of October of last year, and I just adore handling snakes. They're really relaxing to handle, super easy to take care of. If I had known how easy snakes were to take care of years ago, I would have kept more of them. They're amazing. And they're so beautiful, so calm. I don't even know how to express how much I love snakes. So, though I do love other things too, I think if I had to pick one, it might be a snake, just because they're so low maintenance, so beautiful. But it's really hard to say. I might also say the same thing for a crested gecko or a leopard gecko. I might say the same thing for an aquarium because they're so easy, but I do appreciate handling things too, so I don't know. So Breaker, I don't keep tarantulas. I'm not actually allowed to. My wife has basically 3 rules. Some of you will know these already. But the rules are no tarantulas, no roaches, and nothing with medically significant venom. Everything else is a possibility. So I'm pretty satisfied with that because that keeps, a lot of options open. Let's see. I do have a couple of spiders though. I want to show you this. Just a second. So this is arachnid alert. Of course, I just showed you an arachnid because my Vinegaroons are arachnid, but I'm going to show a couple more. Let's pull these out here. This is, let me get the camera set up again here. Okay. Whoa, just dropped something, sorry. I think we're okay though. I hope you'll be able to see this. This is my Phidippus audax, my bold jumping spider. A large, fairly large female there. You can see she's pretty big. If I put my fingers in front of her, you can see her better. She is most likely gravid. Going to be laying an egg case soon. I've had her for not a very long time. My son actually found her running around our house a month or so ago, and so I decided to keep her. And this container, I love this container, check this out. And this container is made by Big Fat Fids. Big Fat Fids is named after the Phidippus genus of spiders to which the Phidippus audax species belongs. I've only had this enclosure for a short time. So this is a very fine mesh in these grommets, or whatever you want to call them, that form the ventilation. I really like it. It's extremely fine. I don't think even fungus gnats can get through this stuff, although I have yet to test that out. I don't think they could. And it's got ventilation on both sides. It opens from the bottom, which is awesome. You just kind of, you open down here, which is hard to do on camera, but it's a lot easier in real life when I'm not using a camera. But anyway, it's nice that it pops open on the bottom, and there's a couple reasons for that, but one of the main reasons being that bold jumping spiders and others of their genus really like to nest. They create their molt sacs and their egg sacs and stuff usually high up, and they'll often create it on the lid if you have a lid up near the top, so you can often damage the spider, or at least its molt sac or its nest, by taking the lid off. But this kind of container precludes that possibility, which I love. I think it's great. And I am told, based on information from Big Fat Fids, that she will probably produce another egg case. She produced one for me already, and she kind of surprised me, and I found there were like 30 little spiderlings in her, what I thought was just a really thick molt sac. I'm kind of new to keeping, I've kept Phidippus audax before, but I've never had one produce babies for me, so kind of new to the whole breeding thing. And I actually, he got the baby spiders so that he could take care of them properly, because I didn't have a container at the time that would accommodate babies, but this one will. I got this container from him. So I'm pretty excited about that. She's going to be producing another clutch of eggs most likely in the near future. That's why she's so fat. And very excited about those. And the nice thing, oh, sorry, I'm trying to catch up everybody. Let's see, Heather Jensen says, have you ever seen any Leptinelia plants? I saw one this weekend. I was blown away how cool they are. It looks like moss, but isn't, and it's a dark smoky purple. That sounds cool. I don't think I have seen that, but I would like to. Wow, Jay's Crazy Obsessions. You've had your snakes a long time. That's pretty awesome. Hello, Crystal. Yeah, I'm glad you all like the jumping spider. She is really cool. And the enclosure. And Crystal, what kind of jumping spider do you have? And the wingless fruit flies for jumping spider babies, yes, they are big enough. That's about what they eat. They can eat things that are 1 to 1.5 times their size, and melanogaster fruit flies are just about right for these baby spiders. They're comparable in size to a melanogaster fruit fly when they first emerge from the nest. So yeah, that's what they usually eat as a first food. Now I want to show you something else. Okay, I'm gonna move this here. Gotta put it back. Just a second. Okay, those of you who saw the Mantids hatching, I showed a little short video of them hatching on my community page, and here is one of the little mantises or mantids. I kept a couple of them. Most of them we released out in the backyard, but I've got two, and they've both molted and have grown quite a bit since they hatched. As you can see, here's my finger for size comparison. Sorry, my fingernails are dirty. I was digging in the dirt a minute ago, and I thought I washed it out, but I didn't. There she goes. Look at that. She is, well, I don't know if these are males or females yet. I haven't checked, but there you go. They're doing well, so I'm excited to have a couple of little mantids to grow out this year. That'll be fun. Last year I grew out a giant Asian mantis, and this year I'm just doing the Tenedora sinensis, which is fun. Let's see. I'm not going to mess with this a lot, but right here, maybe you can see it. This is my Asian forest scorpion, a little wee one that has now completed its second molt, got a little bit bigger. There's the exuvium right here in the middle of the screen. You can see where it's shed, and it's put on a little size. So it's still a tiny little scorpling, but it's a pretty little thing, and I really like its personality. I need to let it, sclerotize. In other words, its skin needs to harden before I feed it or anything like that. But it's doing well. Excited about that. Let's see, update on the rubber duckies. Cognac Young, update on rubber duckies. Well, I checked on them yesterday. I was digging around seeing what I could find a little bit, and saw a couple of them there doing fine. I didn't see very many of them, and hopefully that's not a bad sign. But I have had them, I want to say it's been a couple of months. I was hoping to see if I could find some babies in there. I released the video just last week, but I've actually had them for a while. I was trying to coincide with the 20,000 subscriber point, which we did reach, so thank you everyone for your contributions to that. We have now surpassed 20,000 subscribers, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm going to switch over. How's the lighting there? Is that okay? I could change it, maybe. Hopefully that's not too harsh. Tell me what you think. Okay, so yeah, that's when I was trying to release it. Oh, that looks really pretty bad on the snake there, doesn't it? Let me see if I can make that higher up. Maybe that's a little better. That's not bad. Unless you think it's bad, let me know what you think. If I need to cut the lights. Here, let me try this. I'm going to try cutting that light. That's not super bad. What do you think? Okay. I need some better lights. Okay, so anyway, I've had them for a couple months, the rubber duckies, and hopefully I'll find babies soon. And Crystal says, mine jumping spiders are black with a little white. You ordered one and found one in your house. Awesome. Okay, and you have two praying mantis also. Nice. They're really fun critters, aren't they? Okay, let me see. Oh, I got the snake trying to climb the light pole here. Okay, let me look. All right, so, and thank you for the congratulations. And Heather Jensen, do any isopods glow under black light like scorpions? Not to my knowledge, although I do know they are discovering various types of inverts that are doing that, more and more than they thought. There are some millipedes that do that. There are some opidiones or harvestmen that do that. There are, sorry, that's not what I meant to do. I just wanted to see if you could see this. One of the velvet ants running around there. There she is. She's doing her thing. And hopefully the other one will come out and play in just a minute. Let's see. Okay. So Jay's Crazy Obsessions wants to see the geckos. We can make that happen, yeah. I can show you some of them. Not all of them are in this room, but I can show you the ones that are. I would show you more, but I'd have to go out, and that's probably not going to be very easy to do since I'm tethered to this microphone. And Chad Krotz, good evening, and thank you for subbing, and thank you for catching this live stream. So Supreme Gecko, do anything different with the duckies other than other isopods? A little bit. I was told to put some limestone in with them, so I have a couple of chunks of limestone in there. I'm keeping them with relatively low ventilation and relatively, fairly low ventilation. They have some, but it's not, they're high, and they're fairly moist, keeping them fairly moist. So yeah, that's the only thing I'm doing differently really is the limestone. So I got some limestone base rock at an aquarium store and soaked it in fresh water so that it leach out any extra salts and then put that in. So that's about it. Great question, Wally. All right, so let's see. So breaker, sugar water to test tube. This is actually honey water, and it's probably 1 to 6 at this point. I've experimented with different ones and kind of played with that a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so Cognac Young is kind of saying the similar things. They need the high humidity, high moisture, smaller amount of ventilation, and the carbonate calcium powder. And I do give them that as well as provide the limestone. So I am going to pull out a gecko as per Jay's Crazy Obsessions request. Put the snake back for a minute. He gets to eat today. That'll be fun. Of course, we never feed live food to our snake. Oh, you know, while I'm at this, he just completed a really, really nice shed. Here we go. I'm actually thinking of doing a First Friday feeding video where I feed this to my isopods because they love shed snake skins. So I may do that. It'd be kind of fun. Let's do a gecko. Got a couple of geckos here. And Heather, if you're still there, you'll probably recognize some of these plants. I put them in here with Jake, my Cresty. Whoa, sorry, I'm tripping over wires here behind the scenes. All right, here we go. This is really messy because this vivarium, when I got it, it came with kind of a turfus style substrate, which I'm planning to replace. Hasn't been a huge priority because it's not hurting anything, but I don't really like the look of it, and the fact that the gecko will track it. He'll, burrow down to the bottom and track it everywhere. I don't really like that. So here we go. This is Jake, my Dalmatian Cresty. He was pretty wild when I first got him. I got him as an adult. It's the only Cresty we've ever gotten as an adult. He's calmed down. He's kind of fun. I like the fact that he has both red spots and kind of black spots. And breaker, yes. Yeah, the death fainters don't really seem to like liquid food very much. They will take the jelly. They will totally go after the jelly, but they don't really seem to like liquid food a whole lot. Just for the death fainters for liquid, I've been giving mine mostly carrots, and they totally munch the carrots. I use organic carrots that I chop up, and they go after that. That seems to be a good way to get them some hydration. And Asylum JK, do you know if Orbatida mites, aka soil compost mites, are harmful to isopod? I know a lot of earthworm farmers get them. I think I got some of my cultures don't seem to be harming anything. As long as they're not going crazy, most mites are not a huge problem in isopod cultures. I've had them in some of mine. And if they're going crazy, it means you got an issue. But it may be more of a symptom than a cause. There's some better light for you. What do you think, Jake? Yeah, you like that? Okay. But yeah, generally they're not a big deal otherwise. Okay, Elaine says she would like to do this, see the snakeskin on our First Friday feeding video, so that was cool. Yeah, the peperomia is doing well. The Chinese evergreen is doing really well. I think I messed up with the ripsalis, so I'm going to have to mess with that a little bit. I'd probably plant some of it out in different containers. And the snake plant is doing well. The crocodile fern is producing new fronds back there. It kind of died back at first, but it's producing some new fronds. So thank you so much. I'm excited about these plants, and I love how this Chinese evergreen is working out. It's really doing well, and the peperomia is starting to pick up now, so it is doing well, and I think it's fun getting into some new plants. Okay. Well, let's see. Jay's crazy obsessions. How old is Squinty? Well, he's right over here, and I've just started setting him up a new enclosure here. I'll have to go look back at the videos to see how old he is. I think he's about 3 though. 2 or 3 years old. Oh, whoa, I totally scared him. He can be a little bit skittish, partly because he can't see out of one eye. So there he goes though. He'll usually calm down pretty fast when he realizes what's going on. He's happy to eat out of our hands. There he is. He looks pretty normal. So let's see. So Supreme Gecko. Well, I would say it's not so much about the color. If there are grain mites or the compost mites or whatever, those seem to be fine. Red mites can be a problem, and there's other colors of mites that can be a problem. I've never seen or dealt with parasitic mites on isopods, so I can't really comment a whole lot on that. But I have had grain mites, and I've also had what appear to be a couple of other different species of mites, including possibly the predatory mites in with my isopods, but they tend to eat things like springtails and other mites, and so they haven't been a problem with isopods. But I have had problems with mites in springtail cultures on occasion, not for a while, but I've had that happen. I've had them crash the enclosures. I think I've figured out how to prevent that now, and so I don't get this anymore. As you can see, here's his eye that didn't grow. Even if you look at him from the top, you can totally see one eye has the normal eyelashes and the other one doesn't, because it didn't even grow. It looked normal when he hatched out, but it just failed to grow, so the rest of his body grew around him. But I am really not a fan of mites either. Totally not. And let's see. Yes, actually, right there, Nature Zone. The cryptanthus you gave me went to town, went crazy. I've got tons of offshoots from it, so that's doing well, and thank you so much for that. I still have some of the other stuff I need to figure out where to put. I'm still deciding. Let's see. I'm getting some focus problems here. Why is it not focusing for me? That's a little better. Okay. What do we got here? Okay. Oh, when we got Squinty, well, okay. Well, Jake is the other one that I showed you a little while ago, and I got him almost 4 years ago, I think. And Squinty was the one that was hatched here. This one is the one that hatched here. So he is about 3 years old, I think. Still have the picture of you and me and him. It makes me smile still. I love his face. Oh, that's right. When you came over, we did a picture with him. I remember we had done a picture. I had forgotten that Squinty was in it. Yeah, cryptanthus is great, Nature Zone. If you ever need a cutting of these, then you should get some from me. I bet he is hungry. Maybe I could try to feed him. That might be hard to do on camera, but I could try it. Mite and pest prevention methods. Yeah, I've actually been doing some research on that. My own original research to determine some control methods for pests. And I can't really say a whole lot yet because it would probably be premature, but I'm finding some pretty interesting results there. So I'm hoping to be able to share some things in the future about that. I'm grabbing a cricket. I just opened the bin with one hand. That was challenging. I'm going to see. Let's see. Okay, here, just a second. Sorry, guys. Just trying to make this work. Okay, he smells the cricket. You can see him getting ready here. Sometimes he does this. I don't know if it's because he doesn't have good eyes or what, but usually he just jumps on it. Oh, cricket escaped. That's the hazard of doing it with... lost that one. Hope I don't get in trouble for that. Grab another one. These are the hazards of filming by yourself, you know, when you do a live stream. It's can be complicated. Okay. You do things like drop crickets. This is funny, actually. He's usually just dives on him. But I have to hold it right up to his face so that you can see it. You don't want it? Jake, on the other hand, will not take crickets from my hand, hardly ever. And Tiki will usually jump on him, as you've seen in the first Friday feeding video that I released not too long ago. You're really not going to go for it? Maybe she is camera shy. I mean, he is camera shy, maybe. Oh, the cricket's trying to bite him. Don't let him do that. I'm going to throw the cricket back, because he doesn't seem terribly interested. All right. Okay. Leaf-tailed geckos. That would be awesome. I've never kept those. I've been interested in doing so, but I never have. Okay, let's just put Squinty back because he's not terribly excited about crickets right now. He did just eat, I guess. He finished most of the crested gecko diet that my son gave him, so that's kind of funny. Do you ever put him in a box of crickets to see how he acts? I used to feed my leopard gecko once in a while like that. I like to watch them. I have done what we call, I think the kids call it the gladiator method, where we get a big plastic bin, we put a gecko, and we put like 5 crickets in there. And you can, I guess you can probably see why they call it the gladiator method. And we just let them go to town eating the crickets. So we have done that on occasion, and they seem to like that sometimes. I think that's a fun way to do it for them. It's enriching because it's a different way to hunt for them. Blame the lost cricket on family since they didn't help you. Okay, I'm going to take, let's see. I want to show you a couple of other things here, but I'm going to catch up on the chat. Let's see. Heather Jensen, I just saw you have an Instagram now. I'll take a photo of that purple plant and tag you. Awesome. By the way, I did just get an Instagram account. Some of you have already started following me. I just got it yesterday, and I'm excited to try it out. Part of the reason for my rationale for doing it. Where's that other little one? I want to find it. She's probably hiding under the rock. But she's smaller than the one that's in there now, but similar in color. But anyway, I am on Instagram. Please, if you'd like to, go ahead and follow me at Aquariumax Pets. Easy to find me. You'll see the same frog logo that I have on my YouTube channel. And it would be cool, because what I'm going to try to do is post not just my video links. I will post video links like my live stream link and the links to my other videos on there. But it also posts automatically to Facebook and to Twitter. So those of you who are following me on Facebook or Twitter, you can access, you know, any one of those ways, Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. You can access my posts, my YouTube videos there, but you can also hopefully see some behind the scenes kind of thing that I'm planning on posting there, kind of like I do on the community page and on my Patreon page. I'm going to try to make sure they all get a little bit of extra things there, some fun stuff, ask you some questions, those sorts of things. So Chad says, I'm a freshwater fish kind of guy. My wife and I decided to get a leopard gecko. Got all the basics lined up. Would spiderwood be okay to decorate with? Good question. I would say probably, but you'll want to make sure that the gecko's not in a position to get its eyes poked. If you position the spiderwood so that, you know, if there are pokey bits that they're sticking up where the gecko is not likely to run into them, that's probably fine. Because the leopard geckos, you don't want them to get poked with the sharp bits, because spiderweb can be kind of have the, you know, the fine branching. I don't know. That would kind of be my take on it. What do you say, Wally? Wally is a big gecko expert. So what would you say about using spiderwood? And Supreme Gecko. Oh, like spike. Great idea. I love it. Marvin Hamacher. What's easier to keep, a snake or an owl? I would say definitely a snake. Snake would be much, much easier. Snakes you only need to feed, depending on the species and age and so on, about once a week or less. An owl is going to need to eat more often than that. Plus, owls have a much higher metabolism, so it doesn't just influence how much they eat, but how much waste they produce. They also need more space. You need special licensing to be able to handle owls and things like that, and training, that sort of thing, in many cases. So yeah, I would say snakes. And yeah, this is a velvet ant. It is a type of wasp, as Nature Zone is mentioning. It's a wingless female wasp. And I do have another one in there, but she's just hiding right now. So exciting. So thank you, Supreme Gecko. That is some good feedback there. I appreciate that. That makes sense. You don't want them to fall, and they're really not exceptional climbers. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I'm going to show you, how much time do I have? Oh, I'm almost out of time, but I wanted to show you something really quick. This, my newest acquisition. I hope you can see this. If you've seen my Instagram account, I've got a better picture of her than you'll see here. But this is my new pet. This is a Phidippus regius female. She's a juvenile. She's very, very small. For now, she'll get much bigger. Phidippus regius gets bigger than Phidippus audax. So the spider that I showed you before, the big fat one, is not large compared to the adult size of this spider. Look at that lovely orange color. Really like it. This is the first spider I've ever purchased, actually. I have, at least that I can remember, I've had various jumping spiders and whatnot, but this is the first one I purchased. This species hails from the southeastern U.S., Florida specifically. They may range into other states, not certain about that. They come from Florida. There are different morphs, and this is the orange Julius morph. I love the face on their back. Eyes, nose, and mouth. Pretty lovely there. This one is quite tame. I'll be releasing some video of her hopping from finger to finger. I think she's probably tired out because I was doing that a little while before the live stream. And she was just jumping from finger to finger, doing some fun things. She's really, really fun. Very, very tame. So I'm excited about this and watching her grow up because she's really, really young at this point. So Jay's crazy obsession. Cat or snake is a better pet. Snake actually won and she agreed. Well, yeah, in many ways. I mean, and to each his own, right? Everybody has their own opinion, but in many ways, snakes are certainly easier, I think, than cats. And while they might not be quite as affectionate in many ways, there are certainly some advantages to snakes. I'll say that. All right. So I'm going to put this back now. But I will post more videos of her playing in the future. It's really, really fun to have her hop from finger to finger. She really seems to get into it. Some research indicates that Phidippus jumping spiders are very intelligent, and I would not be surprised at all. Let's see. There's our Vinegaroon buddy. Still hunting that cricket, or just deciding that you want to hunt the cricket now? Not sure. Okay, so let's see. All right, so thank you, Crystal and Marvin. Are snakes picky? Because if so, I would take a gecko over a snake. Depends on what you mean by picky, with diet and so on. Snakes depends on the species. Some snakes can be picky. Sometimes ball pythons can go on hunger strikes for long periods of time. But other snakes, like corn snakes or king snakes, are really super easy to feed. So it just depends. And thank you, David. Down here in Florida, they make quite a conversation piece, indeed. I think it's amazing that you have them there. When I was in Florida back in 2015, I looked for some, didn't find any, but that was fun. And Jay's crazy obsession. That makes sense. Less food, less noise, and less enrichment required. True. I'd say I have to agree with that. So definitely lower maintenance. Oh, do you see that? It's waving its telson at me, its tail. It's warning me not to spray. So, Veranid guy, nice to see you here. Oh, I just lost another cricket. I'm going to be in trouble. That's not cool. Oh, sorry, I bumped the camera. And glad you could stop by. Select pet. Excellent. And Miley, well, a lot of things. You're gonna have to catch the video because I showed a couple of things I've never shown on the channel before, I think. One or two things, but there's lots to watch. That's a good thing. And down the wormhole, welcome. And oh, that makes sense. Those false water covers are pretty incredible. They have one at the zoo here. They're pretty fascinating. Okay, an easy to feed calm pet. Well, I would say something like a corn snake. They're pretty docile and pretty easy to feed. So that's not a bad choice if you want to go with something low maintenance. I love the fact that you feed them about once a week, and then when they're shedding, you don't feed them. So, and when they get older, you don't have to feed them as often. I have a young one, so there's that. If it were older, I would only have to feed it about every 10 days to 2 weeks. You only have to clean the cage out. You know, they defecate about once feeding, several days after they eat. And then you clean that out, you spot clean it out of the enclosure. And then once a month, you remove all the bedding and everything and give it a more thorough cleaning. Really super easy. They need a warm spot. I use an under tank heater with a thermostat to provide a hot spot of about 84, 85 degrees. And you need a tightly fitting lid, but really super easy, really fun. He'll ride around just, you know, sitting here on my neck, snakeless, for long periods of time. It's fun to feed him. It's pretty cool. And yeah, crested gecko, definitely super easy as well. You don't have to worry about feeding because you go pick up the crested gecko diet at the pet store. You can order it online. Just mix it with water and you're good to go. That's true. And yes, getting the snake on frozen food, frozen thawed food, makes it easier, and that's what we have. Ours has never eaten live food since we've had it, and I don't think ate live food even before that. Was on frozen thawed mice when we got him, and we have also used Reptilinks, and he eats the Reptilinks. He eats mice too. He likes mice. We fed him a number of mice, but the Reptilinks are super easy, and you can buy like in packs of 40 or so, depending on the type, and just keep them in your freezer, so they're super easy. And branded guy, the endlers there are tons of endlers. I have so many endlers, it's crazy. The tank light has gone off, but I'm going to show you something really quickly. Okay, so it's not going to be ideal to see what's going on. I'm sorry. Let's get that going. Okay, so the endler tank is here. The light's off. There are a ton of roots from the pothos plant that's growing in there. You can kind of see the endlers a little bit. There are, I don't even know how many, maybe 200 in there. It's nuts. But this pothos plant is growing out of the endler tank. It's rooted in there and is growing like crazy. And it's probably something like 9 or 10 feet long, just the main plant. 9 or 10 feet long, I'm guessing. Haven't measured it, but and it's starting to combat the algae that's growing in here. The experiment was to see if I could do the aquaponics would pull out enough nutrients so that it could handle all the nutrients produced by these guys with just normal water changes and some plant growth in there. And the experiment so far has been no, it doesn't really work. So I'm starting to do some more things, having some cyanobacterial attacks, which is part of the reason I added this sponge filter for some more air circulation and water circulation and so on. But anyway, it's been fun. The endlers are breeding like crazy though. They won't stop. So that's fun. Over here are some of my beetles. These are my blue death feigning beetles. They're mating like crazy, and hopefully pretty soon I'll find some larvae in there. But I'm afraid I've got to go. The time has been flying by, and I didn't even really notice it was going that fast. So I better go. But thanks for joining in. Got to go feed the snake, and I hope you all have a great evening, and look for my video on Friday, and make sure if you haven't signed up for my Instagram account, AquariumXPets, and you'd like to, please do. Thanks again.